Um, so I'm trying to get a challenge. So it's possible to download it. David. David,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you joining with your PC?
Yes, I'm here with my PC.
Okay, I need you to do me a favor. We will select the project from my end, and you download and send me maybe the zip file.
Okay.
Okay. So I want us to pick something very simple we can finish. Okay. Is it possible you get this, and then we'll just try to like work on this.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I send it to your WhatsApp, right?
No, Telegram. Telegram is preferable.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So before he sends us the file, I will be opening Mozilla Firefox. David, can you mute yourself, please?
Can I?
Mute yourself. Hearing the noise
Okay.
from me when I try to talk.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. So since it's like the basics of CSS, we'll be working with this. So MDN is Mozilla Developer Network, I guess. Therein you'll find a whole lot of details about CSS and many other languages as well. Say if you check CSS. Okay, schools. So at the beginner, you probably want to try these two websites because they are very, 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 very succinct and straightforward. Like, say you want to do with how to write codes in CSS. It tells you how to write code in CSS. It shows you the aspect of colors in the aspect of how do you want to font, what kind of color do you want to give a font? So the aspect of background, thank you very much, I got it. There are borders as well. So all these things we'll try as much as possible to cover as many as possible. I think, oh wow, I think that of W3 schools is better because it's straightforward. It starts with an introduction, then it takes us to the syntax, how it looks like when you see one. How do you identify CSS when you see one? The aspect of selectors. How do you give your HTML selectors in order for you to be able to get it like in your CSS file? Okay. Say in your HTML file, I need to show you guys these things. Okay, yeah. So what does CSS stand for? It just cascading style sheets. It's basically there for you to stylize how your HTML look like. The way our Google is stylized in this way, how they were able to create circles of icons, yeah. All these things were due to the introduction of CSS in those files. And today, for me to quickly explain this, we'll try to like build a project. Then I'll show you how the syntax of CSS looks like. Let me get the file. Thank you. Okay, so we have this file here. The designs. So to save time, we'll be just for the desktop. That is when the person opens it on desktop. How does it look like? So you're trying to create this card. This card. It's not going to be that easy though. Okay, I'll create a folder here. Can anybody confirm if you can hear me? Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Thank you. Sorry, I'm having this kind of glitches. Okay. This is how I'll do it. I'll open it down, so we'll check it often while we build. And then we'll create an HTML file. Index.html. I have to first do this. Sorry. Okay. So I don't know. You guys are familiar with HTML very well now. For those who haven't interacted with it, I think nobody's saying anything. So basically, I'll have to create a main tag, and say a main tag will wrap everything here, and we'll give it a background color, of course. We'll give it this color. So let's just start with that. Let's start with main tag. So main tag will have a couple of divs inside it. Say for now, there's one div that harbors the image, and maybe another div that harbors content. So we want to give this a class name so that in our CSS we're able to track it. Sorry, it's not a class name. So when you write React, you call it class name instead. So to still maintain it, and to be able to track an element in HTML for you to style it, we either use class ID, class or ID. So any of them works. There are different ways to use it in your CSS files though. But before then, let me just render something, and then say I'm rendering H1. Okay. Oh my goodness, I have live server here. Okay. So here is what we have in our code. There's an H1 tag rendered to show hello there. How can we style this? For those who are not familiar, the 3 ways we could target this guy and then style it. Either you want to do the inline styling. So inline styling is basically you adding the style in your HTML tag. So you have an attribute called style, and in your attributes, you thereafter can add what kind of attribute you want your style to look like. Say we want to give it a color. Say we'll give it a color red. Yes. So this is one way to style an element, and so we'll have to refresh. So there we go. Our H1 tag has been styled to color red. What other thing can we do? Say we want this guy to not be on the screen, we want it to not display. So we do a display none. Then we refresh. It's out of the screen now. So with the feature of adding that display, it suddenly makes it disappear out of the screen. Now, you might be wondering how I was able to detect or know all these things off my head. The gradual process will begin to stick. Say for instance, you want a box to appear and disappear after some seconds. All these features will begin to stick to your head. So you see features like display, or say we want to increase the font size. There's a feature you call font size. All thanks to my code editor as well. It's helping me remember those words. I just know this is how they look like. I can even use shortcuts to look for them as well. So I recommend you use VS Code. Say as a starter. With time, those words stick with you. So display, we want to give it a font size instead. Font size of say 24 pixel. I use a lot of pixel as pixel units. Some people use, okay, so this is 24. Some people use rems. Rem is another different form of unit. Say you want 1 rem. So 1 rem is This is 1 rem. 1 rem is equivalent to 16 pixel. I think if my memory is not failing me, 1 rem was 16 pixel. But for us to be sure, I need to confirm that. 100 pixel. So 100 pixel is 16 pixels. So some people prefer to use rems because with rems, and either you use rem or you use m units. So this unit basically will up your aspect of responsiveness. It's quite responsive compared to when you use pixels. Okay, so that's the aspect of units. You can dig well into units. You don't necessarily have to just stick with one that you always remember. Say you remember 1.5 to be, so 1.5 will be 16 pixel plus 8 pixel. That's around 624. So it just has, if you don't want to stress yourself with calculations, you can just use your pixel. But trust me, you in the aspect of when you have to make your website responsive, you have a lot of issues. So I face that a lot because I use pixels. So what other way can you style an element in? So I'll double this so that I'm able to like do some magic on them. Okay. So this is when you do not want to target them with class or IDs. Instead, you want to go simply into the HTML element you want to style and then give it your styling. But that is not the recommended way to do it. You always want to create a file for your CSS so that all of your styling will be on that file. Don't you see how incredible it is? So I don't know the name they call it, but we'll go to this to try to see if, okay. So CSS rule consists of a selector and a declaration block. Okay, these guys have gone straight up to when you need to create a file. And you don't necessarily have to create a file as well. There's another style you could use. So this way, say you don't want to create a file, you want to make everything in your HTML file. So you create a style tag. So style tags is very much similar with every other tags here. But what makes style tags different is style tags is a tag specially created to identify styles you are targeting. So say I'm targeting H1. You see how predominant some these stylings are. So we're targeting H1 and we want to style it. Okay. Getting an error. Okay. I don't know what the error is, but I'll go on to style. It's still working. So this is how the CSS syntax look like. CSS syntax is a case where you identify the element you want to pick. So we have an H1 tag here. I'll add some tags here. I'll add a section. I'll add a section tag. I'll add the P tag, the paragraph tag. So still in my HTML file, I'm still styling my elements. I'm trying to use another method on how we can style our elements if you do not want to use an inline styling. I don't know if anybody knows or remember the name. I've forgotten what we call this model of inline styling, where you have a style tag. But it's another way. Everything is happening all in your file. Give me a minute now to confirm something. Okay, I just got the correct one. So it's just our normal internal external and inline styling. So it's as simple as that. So to be clear with that, which one do we call our inline styling? So I formally did this. So this is what we call the inline style. Yes, inline style. And what we are about to do here, which involves creating a style tag, is called the internal styling. God, I guess the word internal is because all is happening in the HTML file. And yes, I was going to remove this. So let's say we want H1 to be very big, font size of 32 pixel. Let's go check how it looks like. Does it even react at all? Okay, this. Okay, yeah. Okay, I think it does. To confirm, we'll give it a pixel of 50 pixel. Yes, so it's reacting to it. So this other one we call the internal styling. You're basically targeting an element and then styling it. But with what I mentioned the other time, say you get to use class or IDs, they work similarly. But how do you represent them in your style, in your internal, your styling? How do you get to use them here? Say we have this particular guy is called an ID. I was given an ID, and I will give him Beef. I'll call him Beef. So you can give it a name of your choice, any name of your choice, but you always want to give it a name that other people can easily identify when they go through your code, and because they want to check your CSS as well to see how they are. So the name you can always remember as well. So there is div tag. How do I target div? And then say I'll give it a different styling. So to target the ID tag, use this hash sign and then the name div. So we give it a color. Let's give it a color so it's different from others. Color yellow. How many my code now colors? Say you want to give it you want to underline the text, you can say text decoration, I guess. It's underline. Say you want what else can I do to this text? Okay, I want the font weight to be quite heavy from others. It's 700. This will be to make it more thicker, sort of. So let's refresh. This is it. Oh, the color is upwards. I'll pick something else. This is not because of the coding. This is part of the features that VS Code adds. So it's another reason why I would recommend you use VS Code like that. It gives you a color palette and then you choose. So this is our styling reflecting using an internal styling to style an element. Before I proceed, I don't know if anybody is not getting anything, so I just clarify that aspect. Hello. Hello.
I can get you. It's clear for me.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So once we create the external file, just proceed to try something. So you want to use styling externally. You just simply add a link. So this link basically help you track the styling. So how far is his styles instead? So this guy will track this guy here, and then most of your syntax you have here, I'll just cut this and paste it in that other file. So let's remove this tag. Okay, so let's see if our code works. It still works regardless. So to be sure, I will just make this guy disappear out of the screen. Display none. And there it goes. So let's just go straight up to creating the project images. Sorry, give me a minute. Fix this. Okay. So I'll be quite fast with it. Okay, so this will serve for the content we'll be having in the image. So I'll give it an H3 tag. I think this guy gives me the text as well. Trying to get it. Let me get it. Yes. This is it. Okay. So I call this the div the paragraph. The way I want to build it, I want these two guys to, I'll create a flex. So basically these guys will just flex and stay side by side. And I'll create a div to harbor both. I do it. So, We'll just style immediately. So um still in this, I'll create a div image. Just get this images. I don't know which this is. Let me view the images so I know which images. Okay. Um, so I could make this to div so that I'll have an icon, the SVGs, and let me just move this guy. How do I make this? Um, I had a lot of paragraph tag, p tag, or you could do span as well, depending on how you want it. So with the whole feature of span being not being a block could help you as well. Just depend on when you want to use it. So you can add this to it. You can add this as the footer. So let's say we've got. So this is when the work starts. So basically, we'll start with styling this. Can anybody hear me before we start? Okay. So to begin with, we have to add the styling file to this, so we are able to track it. And So yeah. Um, yeah, I'll clear this. So first off, you want to ensure the default settings of your browsers are, are removed in the aspect of paddings and margins. You have to put padding to 0, margin to 0, and padding to border box. So let's see what this does to have. So if you notice, it's basically remove those unnecessary edges we have, and I think if anybody didn't notice it, I can comment this so we'll check again. Nobody noticed it. Nobody saying anything. Okay. So first off, we'll target our body. We'll do some stylings to it, but first off, I want to design the colors and then maybe specify the height about the, and then we'll continue. So let's say our body has a background color. And for us to get this color, we will check the styling provided by front-end mentors. Okay. Yeah. So I'll fix some of the colors and then configure our HTML to identify these fonts, and then we'll proceed. So the soft color, the soft blue is the main, the primary color here. So that goes to our body. So, no, this doesn't look like. Let me check again. Wait, these people really provide. Okay, very bad. Oh, my bad. I wasn't reading this. I missed this. Okay. So our body has been configured to work with this background color. We can as well specify the height we want. Say, but this time around, I want my HTML file as well to be. So I'll tag. I'm getting my HTML tag and the body tag. Here are the tags I'm getting. I'm basically trying to get this guy and give it a styling. At the same time, giving this guy a styling. But what kind of styling am I giving it? I'm giving it the height of 100 viewport height. Sorry, that is units, pH units. Let's confirm. The viewport height exactly. So that's right. So give me the 100. Let's see what our site look like. So the reason why it's still floating is we haven't specified the height of the images and co. So we'll try to work on that now. We have say an image wrapper. Give it an wrapper. Okay, interesting. So so why that did that for specify the image itself. With the width of about 400 pixels. Mm. So we still have some stuff floating, especially those. Okay, the reason why they are all floating, I remember now, is because we have more than one images tag on our file. So we have one, we have one, two, three. Even our icons, they're all taking the same sizes, but we don't want that. So for us to be specific, I want to specifically choose this image here, this particular one, and then reduce its size. I can attach this image to its parents tag. So I have identified its parent tag to be image wrapper. I gave it a class name of image wrapper. So I could simply remove this. I want to, okay, let me leave this. I want to remove this. It doesn't float on top. And then do this. So by doing this, I have attached both, I have specifically identified the image. I'm saying go into the image wrapper container and fetch me the image in it and then style it. So this time around, not all images will be having the width and height of 400 pixels. So let's save and then we'll check its effects. So we can see just the image size has been reduced. And the reason why I removed this or I commented it out was when we have this, in a way, we are trying to identify the wrapper of this image to take almost our page size. And that's like when you say viewport is the image, like the port at which, because the reason why you are calling viewport is just like my screen, there are other different sizes of screens, just like in mobile phones as well. So you want to always ensure that when you use viewports, you are paying more attention to the height of who is viewing your website at that moment. So at this moment, I don't need it. If you don't need code, you comment this way. So how do you comment on CSS? I'm very sorry I didn't mention that straight up. Like our HTML, where we're able to like comment stuff before, we simply had to. Sorry, I'm using the shortcut provided by VS Code. So by so doing, with Control L, no Control plus slash, I'm able to create these shortcuts of implementing a line of code. So the same thing applies to this. So it was due to me highlighting then using these shortcuts. So that's for commenting. And we have specified the image size. Before I proceed, I need to add the fonts they used in this project. So how do you add fonts and then use them in your CSS? You first off, let's go to Google Fonts. I'll go back to the video. So the font provided here is called Outfits, and we'll see how it looks like. So in our code styling or in the tag styling, we are given 3 grid size to specify, like to pick when we come to this aspect. So we'll follow that also. How do you identify that? You have it here. So you want to check for size 300, you're selecting this. I think I have it. I have some stuff on. Okay. Okay, yeah. So there's outfits like 300. I think this other size is 400, this and 600. So there are different ways you could use it in your styling. The most preferable for me is the link. So the reason why I use link is this link, when a person is trying to use a connected browser, of course, he has to read your CSS as like he will read it first before there's a way it floats. I will show you how it runs on the screen. So it runs from head down, and that is why you always want to have your CSS here. We'll be adding our link here as well. So this link that was copied here, I think I've already done that. Will be added here. So anytime a person wants to connect or see your website, of course, he will run this CDN. This is like I think content delivery network, I guess. So CDN is content delivery network. It basically gives you a link that runs their server for you, and then get what you want from their server. So that's what the link here do. It will help us go into the Google API and again get the outfits font size and weight as well. So when we have this attached in our HTML file, how then do we use it in our CSS? So it's just simply copy this here. Okay, let me copy. And I'll give it to the whole body. So everything, let's see how it looks like. Oh, we can't see that. I will do it in the body color to white now. Yeah. So yeah, the font has reflected, of course. So we'll proceed. Can anybody suggest a way we could achieve this? What do you think? Anybody who has tried it before? David?
Please, can you come again?
Okay, I was asking, like, could anybody suggest a way we could achieve this design?
Let me see it there. Please share your screen.
Okay. Here's the design.
Okay.
Okay. So of course I'm creating my divs and other section. So I'm creating this mapping. So anybody who has a counter view can counter it, of course. So this main div will be, sorry, my system is hanging and I don't develop with it a lot. So what's happening? Okay, so this main will serve as this body tag, this particular guy that wraps the images, and we'll give it a height. Say our height should be 50% of the 100% of everything of our viewports, or 50% is much, I guess. And we'll make these guys flex. I think I mentioned it. Yes, we can also do the same thing to this guy. I think I have them in the wrapper. So we flex these guys. So I don't know if anybody has a different view before we write the code. How will you have done it, David?
Okay. Okay, you use the creator of Joe's wife as the footer.
Yes. No, 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 that's not the footer.
That's not the footer. Okay, but
Yes.
I would wrap the image like in one div. Then I will
Okay.
put this first heading, the first heading and this paragraph. I'll put it them in one div,
Okay.
and this ETH, this icon ETH, and this icon and ETH. I'll put it in one div. Like I'll put these two this thing. There are two separate divs inside one div.
Yeah, I
You
know.
understand?
Yeah, I
So
get it.
that is how then I'll flex both of them. I'll flex each div, then flex the main div so that it will be then use space between to get them to be separate like that.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, just as you've mentioned it, I actually I didn't have a div that wraps it, but just as you've suggested, I will work with what you've mm, um a div that wraps the header and the paragraph. So
Yes.
this makes it more modularized to like style. I can style this guy easily now from now. Um, but we'll start with this guy. The reason why I want these guys to flex, or should we? Let's get the height first working. Um, our main tag. Um, should I give it a height of 500? Mm, so, okay. That height is much. So, mm, this height is quite much. Okay. I like this way, the way this stuff is coming. Let me just give it a color, background color. Mm, okay. Seriously. Okay. Can see that. Okay. So how much is going on? Yeah. Getting accurate with the height. So I'll give my height to be 600. Let me see at 600. Oops. Okay. So work with this. So yeah. So I think we. So just create a small padding. A padding of let's see, padding of 1.5 and then 24. No sides. It's um, for now, I don't want this to serve as a distraction. So, one of the reasons why it's floating out of this is our avatar guys quite big. So, the did anybody miss out? Can anybody? Is anybody following me? I need to confirm, please. Anybody following me?
Yes, I'm following you.
Okay. Thank you. So image okay. So okay. So the reason why it wasn't styling is because I was supposed to use the ash. Okay. So there's this thing I always really do about centering a div. That the variety of it, you could just center a div and it will go to where you want it to go. Yes, it's as simple as that. But I always do this. Okay, so this is the guy, and yeah. So how do we take this main guy to the middle? Do this to the body. I should have done this to the body instead. So okay, text line simple. So we text it to simple. No, it's simple. So margin auto. So margin auto is in the middle, but I'll give it a margin. Someone want to say something? So the reason why this is floating, you can actually solve that with adding an overflow here. So overflow is basically um, overflow gives you the features of handling this through. If you want to hide it, if you want to include it, if you want to do some other features to it. So in this case, I will hide the overflow and refresh. So we have it centered in the middle. What we simply have to do now is give it an accurate padding on all sides of the image. Say this side, and give it accurate color. Then place whichever needs to be placed. And during the course of me trying to explain which needs to be placed, we'll talk about flex, a little bit of flex too. So if you work with flex, with time you're going to get introduced to how grids and flex works. Um, David, can you please mute yourself? I can't. Okay, thank you. Um, yeah. So one thing I didn't add was how to add font colors or font icons. I think that should have been maybe mentioned uh, during the HTML class, but to just get a bit of um, so to do that, you also use link to do that. So with the help of this guy, also with the help of VS Code, I'm able to like get a shortcut for it as a five icon, five icon, and we'll just navigate towards where this image is. Yeah, there's a five icon here. And voilà, this is what we added now. So so no style. So maybe we'll have way more than 200 pixel, say 220, so that it doesn't share same weight with the image. Yes, is it? So I think it's quite centered well. Let's look at, yeah. So during the course of me placing it, will reduce the height with time. So let's start with giving a padding. So we want to give a padding, we want to give a say space in between. I don't know if some of you guys understand the differences between padding and margin. I'll be mentioning it, and no one asked the question, I think. I think I'm working with bosses, I guess. Okay. Let me pick the color again. So yeah. So give guy David said we should wrap in a div. We'll call this guy the the main text. So I always want to like demarcate them. So this is basically for my avatar. So this is what I use comments for. This is for the main sector, main section, the image as well. Okay. I put this for the main text. So main text. The, so okay, top and bottom. I'll give it top and bottom of, let's not make it much, 5, and padding bottom 4 pixel. Um, that's not much. Okay. Okay. Shoes. Yeah. So still using this to target the H3, I guess. H3. I think H3 is much for this. That is why it's really bold. Okay. So our paragraph as well will be targeted and then reduce it. So font weight for this guy is 600. Font weight is 600. This is the main guy there. And let's copy this guy. The target. Give up P300 top of lights. Fix the font size of, I suspect is 16 pixel because by default 16. So we don't want it to be 16. I want it to be smaller. Say 3. Okay. It's not spreading. Trying to be accurate with the size. Before then, this top and bottom as well. Say make it 10. Yeah. So about the div, David said he would have flexed. We'll try to target it. So we call it the flex container. The div called the flex container. Display flex. So I'll do flex specify contents flex. This is even Okay. So so I did wrap these guys in a div because of this icon. And for that reason, I was going to flex them. So I give them class. You always want to use class when you have a couple of stuffs you want to target, and then give them a similar styling. So I'll just call this guy with icon. So just pick text as well. So to ensure they are all equally centered, we'll do align item centered. I I make sure. I was going to just okay, let me confirm how this looks like. It's quite wide. So to do that, I'll extend the weight of the main. Say to yeah, and this will be space between, so they both touch both ends. And then extend the width of the image. Yeah. So you're almost done with it. I'll flex our avatar as well. Um, yeah. Align items with items. So I can talk of uh, pixel solid. So I'm trying to add a border top solid. Now I'll make it white. So this is what they added here. We'll find the exact color, then give it. Um, so border top pixel. So yeah, to make these edges of these places, give it an edges. We'll do border radius of the main to target the main, and border radius. I'll say 8 pixel. I don't know if it's quite obvious, but the edge is covered now. Well, about height, it's quite more than expected. Um, reduce the height of our main. Let's see how 400 displays. So say Okay, tremendous the column. So this will be the first guy, the flex container. So how do we target the first guy in the first container? Because there are two paragraphs. If we do hash flex container and we do p, and if we say color of this, you'll see it reflect on both p's. It's reflecting on both p's. I can use the I think they call it the end attributes in CSS to be sure I am correct. End attributes in CSS. So the end attributes, the end of type selector allows you to select one or more elements based on their source order according to the formula. It is defined in the CSS selector level 3 spec as a structural PuseDo class. So you call them PuseDo class, you just say, well, for instance, if they are the first child of a component, you'll be able to target it. I think I opened my W3 schools then. So my W3 schools will show you how selectors work. These end selectors are quite incredible. If you know how to use them, you'll be very, very, very impressive with how you manipulate stuffs in your HTML elements. So, but in this case, I want to target the very first guy and then give it this styling. So I will do this. So instead of, I can call it the first, I think first child. Yeah, first child. So this first child will select the first P and then give him that styling. Let's see how it reflects. It's not reflecting. So something is wrong. You probably didn't do very well. So, what is wrong? I'm getting it correctly. Okay, good. Okay, with icon will work instead. Oh, go with icon doesn't work. Okay, and let's select it. Oh, okay. I need to find out why. Okay, first child. How to get the first child? How to get. Think I selected. So if you see, it takes us back to Mozilla. Mozilla is quite incredible. I mentioned earlier. So it's going to teach you how you can use this end child, last child, and cool. And I don't know why my first child is not picking my first guy. Okay, I can use um just say ends. So my child is the first guy. Let's see if this end works. This is really working. I will do something to confirm this. It's not targeting it. Yeah. Um, combination. I want to use this beautify styling for selectors. So you need to find out why or what I'm doing wrong. Mm, yes, no.
Okay, sorry. Even
Yes, I'm
what
listening.
what are we trying to target?
I'm trying to target this end, this guy, this first guy. Yeah.
The zero point zero
I
four
want
one
to
eight.
use, yes, I want to use the end selector to like
I think we should
target it.
use last child now.
No, that okay. Yes, of course, it's the last child I want to get, but I want this first guy to work because the same way we target first child, I've been targeting it now. I did, I did first child. First child didn't work.
Yeah. I think first child
I
is
don't
the
know.
image. If you look at it, check the HTML. Let's see the HTML. I think first child is an image. Okay, with icon P. Okay, there's no child inside P now. There's no child inside the P tag.
Yes, there's no child beside the P tag.
Yeah, so if we want to
Okay,
do
okay.
it,
I was going to use the first P.
okay, so if we are doing it with P now, I think that should work. Yeah, just P.
Yes, but if I use the just P,
Yeah.
um, here's another guy that is called with icon. So
Okay,
it
and
has a
still has
P as
P.
well. Yes. So
Okay,
I was now trying to go inside this guy, go into this guy first, and then target this first P and not this one.
okay, and you want to necessarily use empty child. Okay, I get. I think if we use
Mm,
flex container, first child in flex container, and then
okay,
P. First child in flex container, and then P.
okay, okay. Thank you. Um, let's try the first container. Yeah, thanks for that. Let's do this. Yeah. To give it its accurate color, we'll take this. Still didn't work too.
Hmm.
It doesn't work too. So guys, so I was specifically how do I target it? I will do I can use other ways to target it, but I was going to like get everybody familiar with how the end child work. Um, but it seems to be failing me now. Let me see if last child works. Okay. Mm, yeah, so I was able to get this now. Yeah, okay. Now I get it. So it would have been first child of this. Yeah, yes. So first child of the wrapper, you were able to get it. So I'll give it a margin left of 3 pixel. So it shifts from so we'll do the same thing for the last guy as well. So different color. So don't want to see ball. Why is this too sharp? Okay. Um, if okay, we'll give it a color. So this P, take this color. Okay. Creation of. So we'll target this guy. Use a spam tag to wrap this guy. You have to give it a different color, and then give these other ones a different color. So let's separate the target. So I think we have it here. Gosh, avatar. Okay. So the color of this. Um, so go to the span. To the span tab. So because it's the only span there, just target span and style it. Color of white. And voila. I think we are done with the text. Okay, this color of my border shouldn't be white. Should be oops. Mm. So yeah, I think we are done with the interface. That was the nice right to imagine the place looks perfect. Font size. Okay. So I think we're done with the interface. I don't know if anybody has a question, or there were some stuff that were not clear during the processes of building the interface.
Sorry, I wanted to ask, is this class recorded? So that maybe later on we can get to watch the videos and go through it again.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Nose is recording the class.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So this is just one good ride on building an interface, a very quick interface, and it is not just all. So there is way more than just building an interface for desktop. How is it going to look like if, say, for instance, I am coming with a mobile device? So, but all of those things are called media queries, and they are a very huge topic for another day, where we start trying to like get this guy to work on other devices. Well, yes, that's just the basics. We're able to treat the aspect of coloring your font, giving it different size and different weights as well. We're able to touch the aspect of okay, we didn't touch text transformation. If you want to do, say, you want to make one italic or code. Okay, let's say we want to make this guy here italic. Um, so okay, that's text transformation. Oh, that's not text transformation, my bad. The text transformation is if you want to make it uppercase, lowercase, and co. In font style, yes. So font style is basically how you want your font to look like. Yeah. So we just made the span italic, makes it more awesome as well. Okay. So thereafter we got to talk on how you could give an images different weights and different height sizes. So if you see how I was able to like derive this my height, first off started with a couple of stuffs like get the fonts to work with the expected fonts we are given. We are able to as well add the say border. Yeah, this is a border top that was given to just this div, and it appeared so well as expected. So we are able to treat the aspect of centering this div as well. Yeah, so center div, I was saying the other time that my own self, even till this moment, I still punch it to Google to give me answers. Even that is after trying the ones I know, of course. So you should try some of the ones you know. If you see, I started with text align. Text align was basically I brought some stuff, but the content he moved was the content in the div, and he centered them. He didn't move them, so I had to like I give my margin auto to the div itself, to the div tag itself, and I brought it to the middle. And from there henceforth, I give it a margin top. After the margin top, I do have to start giving it the sizing. The image as at now shares a width of 230 pixel, while this particular card itself is I think 250 pixel width. So I think that's all, everybody, and it was a very good time having to like build this in the space of 2 hours. 2 hours is too much to build a card, especially when you have deadline. So you probably want to use a framework, and again, that is another topic for another day. So I don't know if anybody has a question. Let me David, and you know, say yes, you can ask questions too. Okay, I'm listening.
No, I'm good. I don't have any question.
I don't have any question.
Okay. I really want to appreciate everybody who showed up, and yes, thank you for the time. Thank you for availing yourself to be with me as well. and we'll definitely meet some other day as well to continue from where we stopped. I can share the link if you want me to. Maybe push to GitHub and you guys will do the mobile responsiveness. I think maybe people want to try your hands on it. Maybe we can.
Okay.
Should I share it?
Yeah.
On GitHub.
I've already sent you a link. I've already sent you a link
Alright,
to
then.
blockchain where you like to blockchain where you use.
Mr. Nonsi, are you going to?
Can
Are
you
you
hear
saying
me?
something?
Yeah, I'm saying something. I've already sent you a link to blockchain where you use GitHub where you can share the code here.
Okay.
So you just enforce
Okay,
it and
okay,
put the
okay.
code here. Yeah. Then you share the link.
Alright, no problem. I'll do that. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Later.
Thanks. We'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot.
All right, now, see.
Yeah.
Thank you.